After his descent in the submersible to the Mariana Trench, James Cameron said, "I felt like I had, literally in the space of one day, gone to another planet and come back." For decades before that dive, the scientific consensus described those depths as an abyssal dead zone, a pressure-crushed void where life should be impossible. Now that certainty is gone. Recent expeditions have confirmed complex organisms thriving in the absolute dark, an anomaly we still can't fully explain. So what else is hiding in the deepest parts of our own world? To even begin to grasp what could be hidden, you first have to confront the scale of its hiding place. The Mariana Trench is not a feature on a map. It is a wound in the Earth's crust. An immense, crescent-shaped chasm stretching for more than 2,150 kilometers. Its deepest point, an anomaly known as the Challenger Deep, drops to a confirmed 10 to 935 meters, based on our most recent submersible readings. To give that number weight, place Mount Everest at the bottom, and its summit still wouldn't reach halfway to the surface. It would hang there in the void, smothered by an eternity of crushing pressure and absolute darkness. An abyss of this magnitude is not simply carved, it is forged. So the question is unavoidable. What kind of terrestrial force carries enough violence to bend and break the very crust of our planet? The force responsible here is a geological process called subduction, a slow, relentless grinding, scaled up to the size of a planet. In this corridor of crust, two of Earth's tectonic plates are locked in a primordial conflict. The ancient, dense Pacific plate is being forced to slide beneath the younger, less dense Philippine plate. Seen in cross-section, it's one slab of Earth's crust driving itself under another, an inexorable descent into the mantle. This colossal movement doesn't simply push, it flexes the ocean floor, forcing the crust to buckle, shear, and fracture as it plunges downward to carve out an unexplained abyss. That is why this trench is a key anomaly along the Pacific's Ring of Fire, a volatile boundary marked by the planet's most violent seismic activity. But the violence of its birth left behind worse than the quakes, a permanent, silent executioner, a constant, crushing force that has kept this realm more secret than the surface of the moon. The pressure. The pressure. At these depths, it isn't just a force. It is an absolute, a law of reality. Over 1,000 times the pressure at the surface. To be precise, 1,086 bars, a weight capable of compressing solid steel as if it were clay. In 1960, two men chose to descend directly into it. Their submersible, the Bathyscaphe Trieste, looked almost improvised. A tiny 7-foot steel sphere bolted beneath a massive gasoline-filled float. For hours, they fell through a void of absolute darkness. From the surviving footage, one detail repeats. The metallic groan of the hull, that constant protest, as the weight of an entire ocean squeezed it from all sides. Then, at a depth of 9 kilometers, a violent crack. A shockwave jolted the sphere. An outer window pane, thick plexiglass, had fractured under the impossible strain. In that moment, they were the most isolated humans in existence, suspended in an alien world inside a compromised vessel, an anomaly the abyss had not requested. Their decision was not to retreat. They continued their descent. They touched the floor of the Challenger Deep, the first of our species to do so. But after their return, a silence fell. Humanity turned its gaze upward. We walked on the moon. We sent rovers to Mars. But for 52 years, no human returned to the bottom of our own world. You ever wonder why? Its heart proved more remote, more inaccessible than the surface of another planet. That long silence is now over. We are going back down, and this descent you're about to witness is not just a journey into darkness. It is a passage through the 3 hidden layers of life that have learned to thrive within it, or been shaped by something waiting there. The descent begins. With every meter, the world you recognize is stripped away, peeled back until only pressure and darkness remain. First, the Sunlit Zone. Down to 200 meters, this is the last bastion of the familiar. Here, vast blooms of phytoplankton drift in suspended forests, generating nearly half of the planet's oxygen. It is the engine of surface life, the thin, fragile film that keeps you breathing. And we are leaving it behind. As we sink deeper, the light thins, then fails. We enter the Twilight Zone. Here, life is forced to manufacture its own illumination. Bioluminescence becomes a language, flickering codes for hunting, for mating, for camouflage. A silent, shimmering cosmos of fleeting sparks, blooming and vanishing in the crushing black. Below 1,000 meters, our submersible breaches the midnight zone. The pressure is overwhelming, the darkness absolute. The inhabitants are anomalies, biological outliers shaped by conditions we cannot fully explain. Giant eyes straining to capture stray photons, transparent bodies to evade detection, glowing lures drawing unsuspecting prey into waiting jaws. This is the domain of the anglerfish, a living nightmare suspended in the void. You might classify these entities as creatures of nightmare. Honestly, that's a logical reaction. But it is premature. Everything you have just witnessed exists in the shallow end. We are still thousands of meters above the true abyss. Now, we cross the final frontier on this planet. We are entering the Hadal Zone. We have now crossed the threshold of 6,000 meters. This is the Hadal Zone, named for the underworld. Down here, honestly, no sunrise, no weather, no seasons, only the near-freezing cold, and a constant, crushing pressure that would pulverize surface-level machinery. Life adapts, or it is extinguished. Here, it is adapted into forms we can only describe as alien. Submersible cameras show giant, spectral amphipods, and the ghostly apparitions of snailfish, gelatinous bodies so perfectly tuned to the pressure that, if brought to the surface, they don't simply die. They melt into formless proteins, their structure erased, as if it was never meant to exist in our world. But the most significant anomaly documented in this zone challenges the very definition of an organism. They are known as xenophyophores. According to research from the Scripps Institution of Oceanography, these entities are single-celled life forms. Yet documented specimens reach diameters of up to 20 centimeters, observed thriving at depths exceeding 10,000 meters. A single cell, the size of a human fist, existing where complex biology should be impossible, and yet, it persists. A single cell. For decades, scientific consensus classified such finds as mere survivors, unlucky remnants cast into a dead zone. But what if, really, that label was a failure of imagination? What if they are not merely surviving, but thriving? A recent discovery did not simply add another specimen to the catalog. It supplied one piece of evidence that now threatens to dismantle our entire understanding of this abyss. For years, the established consensus was absolute. Any life found in the Hadal Zone was merely a scavenger, surviving on the falling detritus from the world above. An echo of life, not life itself. That assumption has now been proven definitively false. A recent submersible mission didn't just find another creature. It documented a species whose entire biology shows clear, long-term evolution for the high-pressure environment. It was adapted to that depth. It was not a visitor. It was home. The implication is staggering. You might think this is just a curiosity. It isn't. This anomaly proves the existence of a complete, self-sustaining ecosystem operating independent of the sunlit world. This is not theory, it is confirmed fact. A 2025 study published in the journal Cell analyzed sediments from the Challenger Deep, identifying over 7,500 new species-level prokaryotic genomes, an entire hidden biosphere of microbial life. Further research in Nature confirms entire, still unexplained animal communities, thriving not on light, but on chemical energy seeping from the seafloor. The trench is no graveyard. It is a hidden world, operating under its own set of rules. This confirmation does not resolve the mystery. It deepens it, posing a more unsettling question. If an entire, self-sufficient ecosystem can flourish, completely undetected, beneath our feet, what else remains unseen in that absolute dark? That question forces us to face an uncomfortable truth. Everything we have witnessed, every bizarre adaptation, every self-sustaining ecosystem, is almost certainly just a fragment, a lone specimen recovered from an uncharted biological continent. The logic is difficult to escape. If these organisms can exist, then what else is quietly thriving in the abyss, remaining unexplained simply because it is too vast, too anomalous, or too deep for our rare, fleeting submersible incursions to ever cross its path? Consider this. The deepest regions of the Mariana Trench are less explored, less mapped, than the airless surface of the moon. We are strangers on our own planet, and the darkness below may shelter things we are not yet prepared to encounter. If you wish to continue this exploration into the most mysterious corners of our world, subscribe and activate your notifications.